We would like to thank your sponsor, Valley First, a division of First West Credit Union and a member-owned financial cooperative serving the Okanagan, Similkameen, and Thompson regions. They offer a wide range of banking and investment services for individuals and families. Valley First also has a talented business and commercial team to provide the expertise, products, and services local businesses need to grow and thrive.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Business Matters presented by Valley First, division of First West Credit Union, where we delve into the stories and insights of leaders and change makers in our community. I'm your host, Rob Capello, and today we're joined by Jeff Watson, business owner and Canadian rights holder for FlyWithWine Canada. FlyWithWine Canada makes it easy to buy and travel with your favorite wine. So, Jeff, welcome to Business Matters.
Well, thank you very much for having me, Rob.
No problem. I want to say, let's grab a glass of our favorite wine and have a talk, but we're both probably working, so we can't do that. Or can you?
I'll just have a green solo cup of water then.
There you go. Next time. So, Jeff, I'm so curious. So, I've done some research, obviously, kind of trying to look at some of the backstory. But I'm curious, where did the idea come from? Like, how did you come across FlyWithWine? Like, how did that opportunity come across your desk, and how did that first start?
Well, I'll try and do the Reader's Digest version for you and for your listeners. FlyWithWine originated in the U.S. Okay. The patent holder, the manufacturer, is based out of Florida, but FlyWithWine itself, the U.S. company, and who has the distribution rights worldwide, right, is based out of Napa, and they're an 8-year-old company. So they've been doing this for 8 years throughout the world, but mostly centered on the U.S. And they've been in over 400 wineries around the U.S. and smatterings here and there. But how I came about is I just happened to be on a business trip in 2022 in Portland, Oregon. And I was up early going through emails and, Facebooks and Instagrams and that. And an ad popped up for FlyWithWine, these suitcases designed for flying with wine. And I looked at the product and went, I'm based in the Okanagan. Like, we are the Napa of Canada.
Yeah. So
I just clicked on their website, tried to do some research as far as where can I go to buy it? Because first of all, I'm a consumer.
Yeah.
Could not find them anywhere but one place in Canada that they were available. So I just, at 5 a.m, I just started an email to the company saying, hey, this is who I am. This is what I've done. This is my history. Do you have a distributor in Canada? Do you have retailers? I'd be interested in further discussions. That day, I hopped on a flight to Seattle. By the time I got from Portland to Seattle, I had an email and a phone call from the CEO of FlyWithWine. And, that was May of 2022. Fast forward 8 months later, we had an agreement for FlyWithWine Canada. And we have the exclusive rights for Canada online and inline. And so we got product May of 23, and we've been going since then.
Interesting. So is Kelowna the only physical location then, like where you actually have product in a physical location?
That is correct.
Okay.
My business plan, my business model had us focused in the Okanagan for 2023 and physical inventory, with the expectation in mid to late 2024 to have product back in the Niagara region as well. The other central area of wineries, etc. Not trying to exclude the Maritimes or the Prairies, but the concentration is where those two areas are.
So if you can't get the physical location, like where can people, I'm assuming you can order these online, like where can I buy the product?
Yeah, so we are definitely wanting to partner with wineries throughout Canada. Okay. There are several here in the Okanagan currently that do have product, and I'd love to do a shout out if I'm able to.
Please do.
So 50th Parallel has them. One Faith has it, to name a couple.
Yeah.
Backdoor Winery in Summerland had some. They've changed their business model a little bit for 2024. But that being said, it's excuse me, we're definitely partnering with wineries. Phantom Creek is another one down in the Olive area.
Yeah.
Oliver, sorry. So, but that being said, FlyWithWine.ca. You can purchase the product directly from us as a consumer on FlyWithWine.ca. But we also have a strong presence on Amazon.ca.
Okay,
and
cool.
I know some people look at that or as in, oh gosh, they're going to undercut the pricing, but no, that is product. It's supplied and handled all by FlyWithWine Canada. So the product is managed properly.
Awesome. So the name says it all, but someone maybe that hadn't heard of FlyWithWine before they've heard this podcast, what do you tell them? How do you explain what the product is?
Well, the concept is, you're absolutely right. The name says it all. But I believe we've all been in that position of going somewhere and trying to bring back, whether it's a bottle of wine, bottle of whiskey, bottle of tequila from Mexico, and we wrap it up in our clothes or stuff it in a shoe and cross our fingers that it doesn't break or someone doesn't steal it.
Yeah.
The luggage handlers, etc. And we have definitely heard the horror stories of bottles breaking, people seeing liquid pouring out the side of a suitcase along the carousel. So what we have is the primary product are suitcases that have insulating foam inside the units. They're either a 5-bottle, 8-bottle, or 12-bottle sizes.
Okay.
So that you can fit anywhere from 2 bottles up to 12 bottles, for instance, in the 12-bottle unit. But the inserts are removable. So these suitcases can be used as regular suitcases if you want, if you're not flying to, Italy.
Yeah.
But it's just the foam that is inside just protects the bottles very well.
Interesting. So how's business been since you launched then? I'm curious, like what is 2023 like? And I know that we're coming to some interesting times in the wine industry in the Okanagan, just because we're hearing, great production and all that sort of stuff. But let's go back. What has 2023 been like for you, or what was it like for you?
2023 probably wasn't the best year to launch a product such as this, an accessory for the wine industry.
Right.
2023, many, if not all, wineries throughout the Okanagan had their challenges. I knocked on at least 90% of the doors throughout the 2023 area. And they were really focused on production and selling their own wine. They really weren't looking at adding accessories to their shops, etc. So they were really focused. So as I say, 2023 probably wasn't the best year to launch, bring the product in and try and sell in the Okanagan. 2024, you're absolutely right, probably isn't going to be much better. So I am going to and have started to refocus and look at Vancouver Island, as well as the Niagara region and other areas such as Alberta and the Maritimes, where they haven't had the same trials and tribulations that the Okanagan has. So I've had to change my business model a little bit, change the focus. The sales haven't been there as I had forecasted.
Right.
Excuse me, but it's a product that really supports wineries in selling more wine, because no longer, even if someone is on a wine tour bus that goes to 4 different wineries, they're going to have to, if they don't have one of our suitcases, for instance, they're going to have to choose.
Right.
Am I buying 1 bottle here, 2 bottles there? Whereas if they had an 8-bottle or a 12-bottle on a 4 winery tour, they could get 2 bottles from each one and know that the wine's going to get home safely. They're not cheap, they're not inexpensive products, but amortized over the number of bottles per case, plus the number of times you would use it, the cost per bottle goes down to, pennies, if not cents on the dollar over time. They're well built. They're reinforced corners. I call them luggage handler tested. And they don't show anything on the exterior that says, hey, look at me, there's wine in here. It just looks
Right.
like regular suitcases, but they're designed to keep the bottles safe.
Well, it's interesting though that you can use it. You can use it for luggage. You don't have to put just wine in there. It sounds like if you're going somewhere and you want to bring back a nice bottle of whiskey or rum or whatever it may be, you can do that as well. And I would think that, you know, if you're traveling, like you said, like if I'm going to Italy or if I'm going to Napa and I want to bring bottles back, it's a great tool, right? So it's not just from the Okanagan. I mean, obviously you want to support your backyard, but like you said, you have to pivot as a business owner to see where, you know, and hopefully it won't be as challenging as we think. But I'm curious from a myth point of view. I think I was watching one of your videos is saying like, you know, the suitcases are there to transport the wine, but you still need to go and do everything you need to do to get it across the border. Like there's probably some myth when they see them like, oh, I can just put it in here and do what I want. That's not correct, right?
Yeah, so the two most common questions are one, can I take this on the plane?
Right.
No, once there's liquid in the suitcase, it has to be checked. So even though our 5-bottle suitcase, it's called the Piccolo, even
Right.
though it's designed as the size of a carry-on,
Yeah.
you still have to check it if you have wine in there. But you can go through security it empty and then buy at the duty free
Right.
or the wine store in YLW, and then it's inside and you can continue on as long as you're not transferring, what have you. The second question that is probably you know, a common one,
Right.
is what about duties?
Right.
You know, do I still have to claim?
Yeah.
And this is again not meant to try and get around paying duties, etc. You still have to declare, etc., and pay whatever you are going to pay. So those are the two most common questions we get. The others, you know, are smaller, but they are, you know, is there a guarantee? Well, the suitcases themselves are guaranteed for 10 years.
Right.
So they have a warranty for 10 years. But we have yet, and I'm going back to FlyWithWine in the US, we have yet to receive any claim from consumers that saying their wine has busted. You know, as long as they're doing it properly, you know, if they have all the
Yeah.
foam in
Right.
place, and the
Right.
straps, etc., you know, it does hold the wine very, very securely. They also have, just as an aside, we have a DIY insert. So you take the wine bottle inserts out, you put another insert in, and if you're going to Mexico, you can now, you know, customize the insert to fit your
Interesting.
tequila bottles.
Oh, that's
So
great.
there is more to it than just that.
Love it. So what's the most popular product that you guys sell? I know I saw the one that has a spout and I'm like, that's freaking amazing. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. But what is the most popular one that you're selling?
So right now, the 12-bottle black, it's
Okay.
called the Grande, is the most popular, the one that sells the most. That being said, the Vin Explorer, which you just referred
Yeah.
to, the backpack, has only been on the market for just over a year. So it's got some legs and it'll catch up. But that Vin Explorer, if I can expand on that,
Yeah, please do.
it's a backpack that has two 1.5-liter bladders in it. So you can pour two of your favorite bottles of wine into one bottle or into one bladder, put it in the backpack, and take it camping. My family and I, we went to Big White, went up to the lake at lunch, and had for lunch, and had, you know, wine out of the backpack. It also comes with a 2-bottle carrying case inside. So once you've done that first bladder, you can then take the 2 bottles out of the carrying case, fill up the second bladder, and have up to 4 bottles of wine on a picnic, a hike, you know, to the beach, on the boat, you know, wherever. So it is probably the most popular unit at trade shows that people think it's killer because of that spout. And it also has a place in the back for a laptop or other things. So you can use this for a regular backpack, but it has a laptop in it, so that after 4 bottles of wine, if you can still open up your laptop, good for you. But
that's
yeah,
I thought it
very
was such a
popular.
cool concept. I mean, I think everyone that's listening should go check it out because it's a really neat concept, actually. I thought it was kind
Yes.
of,
Yeah.
Jeff, I'm curious. I want to say, what was your background before? But I know you're involved with right now. You have another business. So, but what were you doing before that got you? Are you just entrepreneur at heart? Like, you know what I mean? Like, where did the connection come from?
Well, there's different ways of answering that, but you're absolutely right. Currently, my family we own Kelowna Pool Tables here in town,
Okay.
In Kelowna, and we've had it. It'll be 6 years come June 1st from the previous owners, Barry and Leslie Smith, who did a great job running and building the business for 12 years. Prior to that, though, I was in the barbecue industry for almost 30. So I was a sales rep distributor for Onward Manufacturing that makes Broil King barbecues,
Okay.
right back in Waterloo, Ontario. And they also distributed Weber grills in Canada for almost 20. So Western Canada, BC and Alberta specifically, I sold grills for almost 20 years.
Interesting.
In that, I had 3 partners in it, and entrepreneurial. Back in 2004, we actually brought Heelys, the shoe with the wheel in the heel, to Canada. So that was in 2004. So that really catapulted our company up to the distribution side of things, and that we cut our teeth on Heelys, and that's where I gained a lot of exposure from a distribution perspective.
Interesting.
Since then, though, 2018 is when my family purchased Kelowna Pool Tables. I just had, I wasn't sleeping enough on my own pillow, if you want to call it that. I was on the road a lot, so it was time to just grab the roots and stay home.
So how do you balance the two? Like, do you have is there other parts of the family that's running Kelowna Pool Table? How do you balance Kelowna Pool Tables and FlyWithWine, or do you?
Well, it's I have a great family.
Okay.
My 2 daughters, Samantha and Chantel, they spent the first 4 years in the store, really running Kelowna Pool Tables as I was doing other stuff as well. I could go on, what else I was doing, but Samantha and Chantel did a great job building the and continuing to grow Kelowna Pool Tables. And when this opportunity came up, it was just one of those things that it's a product that's necessary for here, and I didn't want it to pass me by. Similar to Heelys. It's not going to be the same following, if you want to call it, but it's just a product that's right for the Okanagan and the rest of the wine growing regions.
So if it's Friday night and you're on wine team, what's your favorite wine? What are you drinking?
Well, it's a toss up, but I'm going to be completely honest with you, because I don't drink.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
My last alcoholic drink was April of 93, or sorry, of 93 on my wedding night.
Oh, interesting. Well, congrats on that.
Thank you. But so that's kind of weird when I tell people that when I'm in the wine industry, but it's similar to if I was a sales rep for Coca-Cola. If I didn't drink it, is that still weird? It might be, but I've just never had the necessity to drink beer, spirits, wine, etc. Even living in this area, I still haven't. That being said, Rob, my oldest daughter, Chantel, and her fiance are getting married in May. And I may just have to break that 30-year tradition to raise a toast.
You should. That's a special occasion that you're allowed to, for sure. And they're getting luggage for wedding gift.
Absolutely. They've already enjoyed the backpack, so
that's awesome. It's funny though, because I'm in the marketing world and I'm not a social media person. You don't find me a lot other than maybe LinkedIn. So I mean, it's very similar. I don't, right? It just if you see an opportunity and you know what you saw an opportunity where we live, it made sense, and so that's great, interesting. So
my wife definitely loves wine. So when we were doing research in 2022. For this, whether we were back in the Niagara region or in the Okanagan, up and down the valley here. We definitely, it cost us some marketing dollars to make sure the wineries were up to our standards. Let's put it that way. So I told her she can't come to any sales calls with me when I'm at wineries because it'll just cost me more.
That's right.
Than bringing in.
That's awesome. That's funny. Jeff, what's one thing we want to leave people, you want people to know about Fly with Wine? What's one thing you would love the listeners to know, or maybe that we haven't talked about?
The one thing that I let people know is they're not inexpensive. They're not for everybody, and I totally get it. But the thing is that, like everything that has quality, it's not necessarily the front cost, it's the longevity. So you may feel that you can put 1 or 2 bottles in your luggage wherever you go and be safe about it. But here's a dedicated way of bringing back more than just 2 bottles of wine. For instance, in the 12 bottle, you can put clothes on one side and have 6 spaces for wine on the other, and it will pay for itself. It's luggage that is durable and keeps everything safe. So that would be the one thing that I'd like everyone to know, that it's great product. It's right here in Kelowna, and it pays for itself.
Love it. Well, Jeff, thank you so much for sharing your journey and Fly with Wine, Canada, and you're in the right region, like you said. So hopefully it won't be that tough of a year for the wineries and everyone can benefit. But unfortunately, we'll see where that comes. But thank you so much for spending some time and talking about your journey.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity. I definitely appreciate it.
No problem. And for anyone that's listening, if you're in Kelowna, you can go check out the product. If not, go to flywithwine.ca and you can check all the products there. Really good, great website. It's very intuitive that way. So please go check it out. And if you enjoyed today's episode, we always ask that you share it because it helps kind of get the word out. And until next time, thank you for tuning into Business Matters and have a great day. Thanks, Jeff. Really appreciate it.
Thank you again.
No problem. Take care. Bye-bye.
We would like to thank your sponsor, Valley First, a division of First West Credit Union and a member-owned financial cooperative serving the Okanagan, Similkameen, and Thompson regions. They offer a wide range of banking and investment services for individuals and families. Valley First also has a talented business and commercial team to provide the expertise, products, and services local businesses need to grow and thrive.